Hello and welcome, I'm Matt.
I'm Sam.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Addison.
Today we're going to be talking about the announcement of Godzilla vs. Kong. Alongside that, we're going to talk about Hitman 3, Songbird and The Medium. So, put on some pants, get out of bed, and move to the kitchen. It's time, once again, for The Tepid Take. Breathe in and breathe out. Welcome to The Tepid Take. After last episode's negativity, I would like to take this podcast in a more positive direction. Now, my brothers, join hands and breathe in and out. I will now pass on to Brother Mark, who is going to talk about Songbird. Surely, with a name like Songbird, it can't be negative, right, Mark?
I think you're wrong there, Matt.
Oh. What? No, why?
I was hoping to be a bit more positive this week, but I made the choice of watching Songbird, and, well, I'll talk about it a little bit, and we'll see how we feel.
All right. You go for
Forward
it.
to it.
So, it's the year 2023. The COVID-23 virus has...
Have I fell asleep for like 2 years or something?
Are your neighbours banging again?
They are banging again. Yeah. Just ignore that.
Push through.
So the COVID-23 virus has now mutated, and the world is in its fourth year of lockdown.
See, they've missed a trick there. They could have done like 3 prequels to that, or maybe they're going to do 3 prequels to that.
Maybe.
I really hope not. So the story follows a courier who's racing against time to save the woman he loves from a quarantine camp. And just like the rest of us, he's in his 213th week of lockdown.
Okay.
Not quite the level of curfews.
That's 4 years.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
Feels like it, yeah.
So we've got curfews, we've got quarantine camps. They're talking about how the antibodies haven't worked and they're being told to stay home and wash their hands. And the only way you can leave the house is if you've got an immunity band.
Okay. What happens if you do leave the house without one?
Well, the suggestion is that the virus is now so potent that within 48 hours you'd be dead. So unless you're immune...
Oh my God.
So not too much of a problem.
Yeah, you're risking yourself pretty much.
Do viruses work like that?
No.
No, they just don't.
No, nah. So, because I've only seen the trailer for this film, and when I was watching it, it kind of gave me a very kind of anti-masker kind of vibe. Is it like that in the film, or is it more taken a bit more lightheartedly?
No, not even. It's not lighthearted, but it's not also an anti-masker situation. It's very much just fear-mongering off the back of the current situation we all find ourselves in.
Fear-mongering was the exact thought I had when I watched that trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just taking advantage of, obviously, what the situation we're in now, and it's kind of like money grabbing in a way, I guess. I just don't like it. I don't know.
There's possibly a way of doing it without appearing that way, and just going by the trailer, it didn't look like that sort of film at all.
No.
Yeah, I think just like the timing of it, like I could see this film coming out in like, you know, say if like COVID ends like this year, fingers crossed, and like maybe I don't know 2 or 3 years later, like I could see this kind of film coming out and people being like, oh yeah, you know, I don't know.
That. Yeah. Could have been like that, I suppose. Yeah,
but to come out while it's still going on and still heavily affecting this many people, it's just like in poor taste.
Well, we had
really
a quick brief discussion, didn't we, in the WhatsApp about it when I said I was going to watch it as part of my topic. And it just kind of feels like making a film about 9/11 while the second tower's falling almost.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's like you've not even waited.
Do you reckon this is a film that was something else that was then tailored to fit? Or do you think this has been rushed into production to kind of capitalise?
There's not much that really happens So it very easily could be that they were intending to do some sort of pandemic, apocalyptic film anyway, and then they've just tried to cash in on the current pandemic because they know people realistically are probably going to watch it. You're stuck at home. What we're doing at the moment, generally watching Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus. Yeah, and not going anywhere because we can't go anywhere.
Do they
haven't been outside in 10 years?
It's been 10 years. Did they say that like the word COVID-23 quite a lot in the film, or is it just kind of like a one-off line?
It's the very first thing you hear in the film is it's 2023 and COVID-23. It's like, okay, great. And then they talk about how it's so potent now, it's killing people straight away. Then you get a kind of a scene as you go towards where the courier's currently delivering, where it flashes up a billboard that says 8 million deaths this year. And it's like, okay.
How long is the film?
Yeah.
It's an hour and 25.
Would you say it's an hour and 25 minutes too long?
Yes. Yeah. It certainly is. I think what instantly put me off was about 5 minutes in where the courier's on a basketball court because he's immune, so he's allowed outside. So he's shooting some b-ball by himself. And
what a saddo.
the manager calls in and says, "Where are you? Are you on the basketball court? I want you to get back to delivering." And he says his final line is, "Make a 3 for Kobe for me and get going."
Oh, no.
Bearing in mind, obviously, Kobe Bryant died in the January of last year.
Oh my god!
A helicopter crash. It was just
so rushed into production is what we're thinking.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, quick, we're gonna get this out. Oh.
Does it have any like?
We needed this out in March.
Well, the crazy thing is, it has. I can't remember the name off the top of his head. It's like KJ Appa from Riverdale, isn't it? He's known for. Sophia Carson, who's in I think the Descendant films. Okay. Who else is there? There's Craig Robinson. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you know him from.
Yeah, it makes me really sad he's in it because he's in The Office US.
Bradley Whitford as well, the one that was in Get Out.
Yeah.
As well as
Peter Stormare.
As well as Alexandra Daddario and Peter Stormare as well.
Peter Stormare. He's the villain, isn't he?
Oh, and Demi Moore as well. So it did have
oh my god,
quite a big cast. I think
it's ridiculous.
It was just the fact that you see him do the deliveries, he's going through kind of army blockades where they're wearing gas masks, and then you kind of get this whole kind of typical thing that you get in pandemic films or zombie films or anything else of, oh, there's somewhere that is COVID free. There's this special place that's COVID free that we can go to.
Paradise.
It's the same in Fallout, one of the Fallout games, isn't it? It's like, oh, there's a green place that you can escape to.
Max.
Or
Max does that.
I Am Legend as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
There's like
totally
that
is.
kind of
very much felt like I Am Legend. The kind of, I think it was a UK release ending, wasn't it? Because there was like 3 endings for that.
Oh yeah.
But I think they could have very much played into the whole isolation of it. I don't really know how that would adapt the film, to be honest. It could be quite boring.
Someone sat on their phone all day.
But there's large sections where they're just watching other people on YouTube, and there's like news clips and stuff, and there's just really pointless narrative and a really random sex scene that's so unnecessary, where they take each other's masks off, and you're like, okay, what the hell's this?
I've got a quote from Peter Stormare. I think it's probably his first line. I'll play it.
I'm terribly sorry to inform you that there's been an outbreak of cases in this building, including your poor neighbor. Have you ever left your apartment? Maybe a glass of wine with Mrs. Grant? Like a little gossip, a little talk, breaking the lockdown?
No, we follow the rules here.
You wouldn't believe how many times I've gotten that answer. And before you know it, I'm back at the same address. That's yeah, you know, this disobedience is like spreading like
COVID. No? Okay.
Well, don't forget your temp check in the morning, and remember, stay safe, sane, and sanitized.
I think Boris Johnson should lead with that.
I mean, he's making it sound like a good film.
Yeah. That's the thing. We're supposed to believe
one of the only good scenes as well.
We're supposed to believe he's a villain in this. That he's the guy that's keeping everyone in. He's the guy who's like getting rid of the infected people.
Is he actually the villain in the film though, or is
he's the villain in the film?
Yeah, he is the only antagonist really, because everyone else is in hazmat suits or behind a mask. He's one of the only faces you see.
He's immune.
How long is he in the film though?
He's in it for a fair bit, and without spoiling it, there is another character as well that kind of joins in some nefarious acts and kind of breaking the rules, and it's just all a bit ridiculous. Yeah. I think it's so poor taste.
100%. Yeah.
The voice that he seems to be putting on is like proper typical American villain. Like it's like southern.
That is his
southern
voice.
Twang. Is it?
Yeah, that's his voice.
Yeah,
that's what he sounds like.
He's putting on his own voice.
Well, he sounds like
his
villain.
own voice.
Villain. What kind of actor is this?
To make it even worse, it finishes with kind of like I can't wait until it goes back to how it was, and there's like a poppy song over the top, and it's just like, give me a break. I think for me personally, if you had an hour and 25 minutes and you had nothing to do, I would tune into episode 1 of the Tepid Take, because that is an hour and 25 minutes.
Yes, yeah. That's much more time worthy.
Much more interesting.
I mean, I'm assuming most people listening to this would have already listened to that, but
potentially not. If they've had a weird intro, if this is the first one they listened to. But yeah,
like, is this ASMR?
Yeah, I think I'll close with a similar thing to what Addison said last week of I'll let people decide for themselves when they watch it, but for me personally, I wouldn't waste your time.
I don't know. Anyway, shall we move on from that? Let's go over to Addison. What have you been up to lately?
Mostly playing Hitman 3.
Yeah.
Which is it's a series I love, and this is kind of the final installment in the trilogy of the semi-reboot that they've got going on. And it's basically the same as the other two. So if you love those, you're going to love this one.
Yeah, they don't seem to change up the formula much, but I feel like it doesn't need
not too
up.
much. Although, saying that, when they changed it up with Absolution, I absolutely hated that game. So,
oh yeah, that was a weird one, wasn't it? It was very story-driven.
Yeah.
All right.
Whereas these ones are kind of like, go kill this person at top of Dubai Tower or something.
Yeah, it's very level-based, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I've experienced.
I kind of want that more, though, because they do kind of thread a story through it. But it's throughout the whole 3 games. And I hate the way these games are like laid out and they're getting into the levels and stuff. I just find it very awkward. But it's standardized across the whole 3 games. But once you kind of get over that, it's fine. And they brought back cutscenes, thank God. Because they had these weird still image cutscenes for the second game.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they?
Oh really? Oh my God.
I kind of skipped them mostly when I played the second one.
Yeah, I mean the story in these is like, you don't need a story. It's not the point.
No, you don't. No, it's the gameplay, 100%.
The animation of the cutscenes in the first and this third one are great. They just look good.
Yeah,
and I don't know why
have
they
you got
didn't
the
do
other
it
ones in it? Because you could play the first and second one in that game, can't you?
No, because the process of moving it over was such a ball ache. I couldn't be bothered.
Fair enough.
And it doesn't really add anything other than letting you play them within that game.
And
having
I feel like it would improve
there.
it with the engine, but I guess they haven't really changed anything, have they?
No, I wouldn't say you'd notice too much.
No.
So I've kind of always loved this series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Same. Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the films?
Yeah.
I saw the one with Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah. So when that one came out,
that convinced you to play the games. Is that what you're saying?
No. So I was already a fan, but I was still in school,
and then you weren't one.
It came up because our teacher kind of started slagging it off. It's a horrible film. Like, it's awful.
Yeah, it's not great.
But he was like,
I actually love Timothy Oliphant as well, so it's kind of like,
yeah, he's good.
Yeah, tarnish on his.
But he was making fun of the fact he was called Agent 47, and that the barcode was his number. It was like, but if you have a barcode, it's going to be a longer number than 47 with how big that barcode is.
I know, right? Yeah.
But I think in one of the games they go, the 47 is actually the last 2 digits of that barcode.
That would make sense, yeah.
And I couldn't say it without that lesson, so I'm saying it here now, about 15 years later.
So if you're listening, teacher.
Yeah.
What was it? What was their name? The teacher?
I won't say their name.
Boris.
Yeah, we'll call him Boris. If you're listening, Boris, you were wrong, and I wanted to correct you.
It's only taken
And you chose this moment to do
It's only
it.
taken me 15 years.
I know you can play the third one in VR on PlayStation, can't you?
As in this one, or
This one, the Hitman 3, yeah.
okay.
Which is like, you can play the whole game in VR, which I think would be actually probably one of the best
Interesting.
games ever in VR. But
That's crazy though, because like they're not known for first person though, are they?
no, I don't think even when you aim your gun. Oh no, you can aim. I think you can aim some guns down sights, but that's like
the snipers and stuff.
yeah. But that's like
Yeah.
yeah.
You can go
I
around cuddling
imagine-
people rather than choking them out instead.
Yeah.
I can't buy it.
One thing I saw was that you could like tap someone on the shoulder with like a crowbar, and they would turn around, and you just smack them in the face with a crowbar.
Big. That would be epic.
That's not quite my play style. But
No, I mean that's not very stealthy, but
Do you play? Can you do like non-lethal playthroughs?
of Hitman.
other than the main targets, yes.
The game is called Hitman.
Yeah, you have to kill the end targets.
Well, you can't just tranquilize the main target.
No, you have to kill them.
He's a hitman. He doesn't like
I
knock
know.
about.
I hear you, Matt. I hear you. You said it 5 times already.
It's almost like it's in the name of the game.
I know, yeah. Did you like it? Are you liking it?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am really
yeah.
enjoying it.
Boys, we've got a positive review. We've got a positive
We've
review.
done it. We can finish there.
Oh my
now.
God.
See you later, guys. You've been watching. You've been watching and
Tune in
listening.
next time.
I don't know what you've been watching, but you're listening. Anyway,
Been watching Spotify.
yeah,
On your
you've been
phone.
watching Spotify.
I thought it was from
You
watching from
weirdo.
the end of the garden, but okay.
Oh, yeah, there is someone outside my window. It's a bit weird.
What the hell?
Agent 46.
Agent 46. Not quite. They couldn't send 47. They could only.
just going to hear my glass crash in a minute.
Not high profile enough.
No, I'm not high profile enough for 47. Anyway, Sam, what have you been up to?
Yeah, so I played The Medium, which is, it's kind of like, I guess it's Microsoft's kind of first big exclusive for the new kind of consoles.
I guess it kind of is, yeah.
Yeah, and then like you can only play it on the new console or PC, so you can't even play it on like the Xbox One, which is quite usual for like when they bring out the new console, they do those kind of like transition games. But it's pretty cool with this one that they haven't. Yeah, so I started playing that and I completed it this weekend. And I fucking love this game. It's like right up my street.
I also played it this weekend, so I'm
Yeah.
sort of like tagging onto the thing that you've done. I've also done.
Get your own topic.
God damn it.
Your own topic, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is really good. I think I finished it just before you did, didn't I? But
I know. I was like, damn, I need to complete it now.
I know. I literally went for it. I was like, this is actually pretty good. Yeah, it's just really interesting, isn't it?
It's a proper throwback to like 90s survival horror games. Like it's
That's
a real
exactly
mess
what I
of
was
like,
thinking. Yeah.
yeah, to the point where they kind of bring back fixed camera angles, which will probably turn a lot of people off because I know they're not the most popular thing. But
Well,
they
I
kind of
don't know
do, like,
so much because you've got like all the Quantic Dreams games like Heavy Rain and
Yeah, I guess so. That's true.
Detroit Become Human and
Yeah.
what's the other one they've done? There was another one, isn't it?
Heavy Rain?
Beyond Two
Did we say
Souls.
that
It was very, it was very Beyond Two Souls. I thought that was probably one of the biggest influences for me. I don't know if you played Beyond Two Souls, but it was really similar. I thought.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember seeing trailers for it and thinking like, oh wow, like they are doing kind of like fixed camera angles, but with a modern kind of spin, I guess. Like I guess it's like I said, similar to those Quantic Dream games where the camera does it. I think it just adds like a nice cinematic edge to the game. Like
the
way like the camera will kind of like track and pan with you, and it sets up like these really nice shots. as a videographer, I was like, oh yeah, very nice, very nice.
Oh, this shot is great. Yes,
It's like,
I love this
perfecto.
shot. Oh, that shadow on the wall is marvelous.
There was and we were talking about this the other day. I think there's only one jump scare in the game, but it absolutely got me. Like,
It's
to the point-
bullshit.
It's such like
Those
an
are the
obvious...
best ones.
Yeah.
It's so bullshit.
Like the man bat in Batman,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
just out of nowhere.
it
Yeah.
literally is.
But
Go
it,
on,
like,
tell what it is.
so basically, like, you're in a room, you're kind of investigating this. Basically, it's set in a hotel in Poland. It's kind of set up the game, and you're looking in one of the hotel rooms,
And you're a medium.
and you're a medium, if you didn't guess. And so yeah, you're in one of the hotel rooms, and there's like a hole cut out in the bathroom door. And you go to open the door, and your character looks through this hole, and this like face just appears.
Classic.
And like
Bullshit.
it's such like a bullshit jump scare, but I literally threw my headphones off. And my wife was like asleep, and I was like, "Wah!" And she was
That
like,
sounds
"What
a
the
lot
fuck
like
is going on?"
that sounds a lot like the one in Until Dawn, where you look down the.
Oh, there's a bloody deer
telescopes.
or something.
No, there's like
Oh,
a
really?
face if you peer down these telescopes. That appears.
Oh, yeah. That's the worst. I just hate those jump scares. They're so rubbish.
So
But-
this is the studio that did Layers of Fear, isn't it? Did
It
you guys
is,
ever play
yeah.
that?
They
They're
did do
very good
Layers
at
of
jump
Fear.
scare.
Yeah.
Blair Witch? Did they do Blair Witch? Bluebird.
Oh
team,
yeah, I think of that. I think.
Oh.
might have done.
Did they?
Bluebird team. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
because we
so-
played that, didn't we? That was really good. I really enjoyed
that's
that.
pretty good as well. Yeah. I was just gonna say, and obviously, like the big selling point of the game is the whole like dual reality thing, like the split screen,
Yeah.
and the way they use that for like puzzles is just like so clever at points.
So what is? Don't say if it's a spoiler or anything. What is that separate world? Is she in? Is it like the past, or is it like an alternate reality?
I wouldn't say it's a
I
spoiler
don't-
because it's kind of
yeah.
the premise of the game.
It's like the spirit world essentially. It's like the spirit realm.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like
So it exists at the same time.
it's exactly the same
Yeah.
time. Yeah, yeah.
There's one puzzle, like as an example, where you're in this room and there's like a clock. If you adjust the hands on the clock, it kind of fast forward or reverses the time in the spirit world.
That's cool.
And it's just like little things like that where you're like, oh my god, that's like genius! Like the way they kind of utilize the whole split screen dual
Yeah.
dual reality mechanic.
What I found with some of the puzzles though was that I just couldn't. They were just like really fiddly, and some of the puzzles I just got stuck, and I actually had to look them up because it was just ridiculous. I would have never have discovered
Once
this
again,
thing.
Matt, I'm not
Cheater!
entirely sure this is the game's fault.
It is because I'm actually really good at like puzzles and whatnot in
It
games.
doesn't sound
but
like it.
I just couldn't. It just wasn't. Well, I think something like bugged or
Two
something. It might have been a
games
bug, to be fair.
In a row, you've had to look up something.
But I was doing what it told me to do, and it wouldn't work. So it's not
So
my fault.
what-
It's the game's fault.
But when you looked it up,
It was
What
what I
you
was
doing
doing,
different?
but it wasn't working.
was it just being buggy?
Yeah, I think it was just being buggy. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably is
to be
fixed now,
fair,
I guess. But
I
it did have
find-
a massive update on the second day.
It did, yeah. Yeah, there were some buggy bits where like my character's legs just kind of like spin to the floor at one point when I was going up the stairs. I was like, okay, is this like one of your powers or
Yeah,
You're a
well,
ghost
got
now.
Superpowers.
she's a ghost? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely got some old school gaming vibes. Definitely, 100%. It was really, really, really good. And I won't spoil it, but the ending, I was a bit disappointed, but I get it.
I loved it. Thought it was like,
It's very
poetic.
cliffhangery. It's very
like,
cliffhangery. I don't like a cliffhanger. I
I
just
did
want to get
chef's
it done. One and done. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think there was a post credits scene. Do you see that?
I can't remember. I've done something since then.
Okay, you like that's gone out of the memory bank. now.
yeah. Oh no, I did. Oh yeah, because that person
yeah.
is
No spoilers,
is,
no spoilers.
is a person. Yes.
That's not.
Yeah, but overall, I would, if, yeah, like my worry is that people will be turned off by the kind of like fixed camera angle thing. But I guess, like you said, if
yeah, I mean, you've got like Man of Medan and what's the new one?
So if
They've
you
done
like
Little
those
Hope.
sort of games,
Yeah,
I
I
imagine
think they're
you
pretty
kind of know
popular
what
at the
you're
moment.
in for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be a good game to play as a sort of group? I know that when we were playing through Layers of Fear and Until Dawn, we quite often had a bunch of us play through it, just kind of pass the controller around.
I feel like solving the puzzles.
Maybe solving the puzzles might be good. I wouldn't say it's interesting enough for a whole group to be that interested into it, but I'm sure Sam will feel differently.
Like, because I think if what am I trying to say here? I'm thinking, but I'm not saying. Maybe not so much as a group. I feel like if it had more kind of like jump scares in and stuff, maybe it might be fun to play as a group because you'll like jump together. And I was like, oh,
it's almost a bit too slow then.
Yeah, I would say it's
but, like,
too
the
slow.
story- yeah, like it's an interesting story, and it's very investigative, and you're kind of like unraveling this kind of like secret that's kind of this mystery that's happened. But yeah, maybe as a group it wouldn't be that entertaining.
Okay.
No,
That's a shame.
I don't. I wouldn't think so. No, I loved it, but there's also one thing for me. I didn't find it scary whatsoever. It's kind of like they've advertised it as a scary game. Did not scare me one bit.
I think
The one gameplay bit that I saw didn't look very scary. I haven't watched the proper trailer. It was just a quick 5 minutes of the woman walking around somewhere showing her powers.
Yeah.
It didn't look scary at all, even when she kind of went to the spirit world.
I feel like if it was first person, it would probably be one of the scariest games ever. But because it's third person, I just wasn't scared.
Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Because the environments were like really scary and really well made. But because I was in third person, I just I could see everything. There's nothing to like take me off guard here, really. So
yeah.
But,
I don't know. Like, I didn't find the game scary as much. I think I found it more just unsettling. Like the subject matter gets. It's quite disturbing.
It's pretty disturbing.
Is it
I guess,
a bit like Hellblade in that sort of way then? Because that's another game that comes to mind. It's not scary, but has this tense.
Yeah,
kind of.
Tension going through it.
I would say Hellblade does it better, but
yeah, especially with the voices. Jesus.
Oh
yeah.
Genius.
It weirdly made me want to play a Resident Evil game, so I started playing Resident Evil 2, the remaster one.
I want to go in on those. I played through 7 a couple months ago, which was fantastic. I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah,
I played through 4, and it really doesn't stand up.
I'm a bit of a 4. No, I'm not a 4 hater. I just think it's overrated.
I thought it was like that.
It's the most accessible one.
It controls awfully nowadays, though.
Yeah, it does. It does need a remake. It does. Like, it was revolutionary for the time. That's why people love it, because it took away the fixed camera angles and introduced like over the shoulder aiming and all that, and it was great for the time. Like, it was a breath of fresh air. But it's like you can't, for example, move and shoot, and just little things like that just make it feel really clunky now.
It's not the worst Resident Evil, though.
It is a good game.
5 is the
6,
worst.
I guess.
Or 6.
6 is worse.
6.
5 is okay.
5's a great co-op game.
Great. 5 is a great co-op game.
But
6 is trash.
They tried to they tried everything. They're like, all right, we'll have one story for horror, one action, one like when you're like supernatural. Oh,
the concept of that sounds quite interesting, but because they did,
I played it.
It was like 3 separate protagonists, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally played it till the last boss fight, and I just couldn't do it. And I was like, I'll just give up. Whatever.
Oh my God, I got so far.
I know. I literally the last
I got to
boss
the end
fight.
and was like, nah.
I'm surprised you didn't Google it, Matt.
Nah,
How
I couldn't
to
be bothered
beat
really. I
final
wasn't
boss.
that invested. I just couldn't be bothered. But Resident Evil 2 is like great. I had already played it before, but I never finished it. So I literally played it and realised I only had half an hour left.
Are you doing the remake?
Yeah, I was doing the remake. Yeah.
Are you only playing? Is that like one scenario though?
That's one scenario. So I'm now doing the second one with Claire Redfield. So I'm loving it. I think it's absolutely great. Yeah.
It's brilliant. I love it.
It's just a beautiful game. Like, it's really, really well made. The remake is. It's just All the environments are great. You know, it's got that little bit of scariness that I kind of wanted from The Medium. It's kind of why I went from The Medium to Resident Evil, because I liked the Resident Evil vibes that The Medium was giving me.
Yeah.
And I needed something more scary, so I weirdly I started
Hill's
playing.
one I keep hearing people compare it to more than Resident Evil.
Yeah, I suspect that's probably the case. Yeah, but I've not actually played Silent Hill, so
Silent
hard to
Hill.
compare.
Yeah, I would say it leans more towards it borrows a lot from Resident Evil down to like the puzzles, but
Yeah.
it takes, I would say it's more like Silent Hill, because Silent Hill also has kind of like two realities in it, and it also deals with kind of like dark subject matter. But yeah, it's kind of like a mesh of the two.
I guess it is. Yeah. It's I think the one thing that it reminded me of was Beyond Two Souls, because you're kind of like it's kind of like that two universe sort of thing where you've got the one character and then you've got the other one in another universe.
Yeah, I never played that one.
I've never finished it. I'm really bad. I've actually this last
Noticing a
week or
trend
so.
here, Matt.
Well, actually, I've broken the trend, because this last week I've finished about 4 games. Well, this last week I finished about 4 games. I finished MGS3. I finished MGS4. I finished Cyberpunk, and then I finished The Medium, and then I finished Resident Evil 2, sort of.
Completionist.
I know.
Yeah, but is it
literally.
impressive if you've left them for about 12 months and now you're coming back to the last 5 minutes that you left?
Cyberpunk came out last year, so that's not too bad. I'm getting there, all right. I'm catching up. Anyway, shall we move on to our main topic then? Where's the soundbite? I'm going to find a soundbite. I've got to play another one as well, because it's a double subject. Here we go.
Not quite as impressive.
I
that one.
prefer Godzilla's. Yeah.
What's this
Godzilla's
film?
just
Is it
classic.
Jurassic Park versus Lion
Jurassic
King,
Park
right?
versus Lion King. That sounds like a great film, to be fair.
Spoiler, Mufasa dies.
I was having a drink when you said that.
Actually,
It's all over the keyboard.
all I heard
So
was
obviously this week, or last week, the Godzilla versus Kong movie was announced with a trailer. So we thought we'd, watch a load of Godzilla and King Kong stuff. Well, the movies in that universe anyway, at least. I think, Mark, you've watched a bit more than that, haven't you? But
Yeah, I tried to clock in some higher numbers. Just wanted to outdo you guys.
yeah, I mean, you've done it, because I couldn't be bothered to do anymore.
yeah. I was like, 3 was enough for me. 3 was enough.
I'll be honest, I only watched one of them.
See, he's even watched one of them. At least we did better.
I saw the other 2 like a month ago, so I feel.
Okay. Close enough.
Excuses.
So what one did you watch, Addison? Did you watch the first one?
I watched King Kong again because I only saw that in cinema and haven't seen it since.
Yeah.
Wait, is it in the Peter Jackson one or Skull Island?
Skull Island.
It's so much better than Peter Jackson's one. Although
I
Jack
need to rewatch
Black's in
that
that.
because I've only seen that once.
Peter Jackson's it's too long, but it is got some great moments.
It's also got Jack Black in it, so
To be honest, I'd say
Pretty
Skull
great.
Island was about half an hour too long for me.
Yeah, I've
Really?
got some things to say about.
I enjoyed it. But
All right,
how do we want to
alright.
do this? Do we want to go in order, or should we just start with Kong since we're already talking about it?
Well, I think we should go in order. But
Order?
I mean, it doesn't. I guess Kong is technically the first one in
Logically,
the series
cool,
because
we'll
it's
go with
actually
that then.
first. Yeah, let's go with Kong.
I do enjoy it.
Yeah,
Um,
if you go ahead then, because you've seen it. So
Yeah, I just the characters are probably the best out of the 3 in this one. Samuel L. Jackson is amazing in it, I think.
he is pretty good. Yeah,
Although way
The
too many
main-
characters.
Way too many characters, yes.
there is a lot of
Yeah.
characters actually. Yeah,
Including one who literally says nothing, I'm pretty sure, despite being on the
Probably.
journey the whole time.
Was it Tom Hardy?
Is that Toby Kebbel?
No,
he
it was
says
that.
something.
It was the
Tom
girl
Hardy, what?
scientist who
I just got that.
makes it all the way through, but
Oh
just
yeah.
doesn't say anything or do anything.
Hmm.
And the main characters are a little bit boring.
Yeah, you're right. Samuel Jackson is the strong kind of. He's
He's
definitely a good
definitely the
villain.
best
oh
character.
yeah,
I
he's
think, in
a
it.
good villain. He is. He just works, doesn't he?
Yeah, I love his like sort of Captain Ahab story going on.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
it about for our audience?
Me? Okay. It is about
Moscow.
Yeah, caught you off guard.
a
Yes.
team of scientists who find an island that is normally besieged by a hurricane pretty much 24/7. And there's a bit of a break in the weather where they can get to it. So they go to the island, not sure what they're quite going to find. But there's one guy who's definitely expecting to find something, which ends up being King Kong.
Pretty good.
General gist of the plot.
I would not have done it that well. I kind of forgot about the storm thing until you mentioned it. Just
yeah.
then.
Yeah, I think it's a good setup. I quite like.
It's a good setup, and then
Yeah.
I love the first moment you see Kong. I think when I saw it in the cinema, I heard the trailers were a bit too fresh because I don't remember enjoying it that beginning bit as much as I did this time round. You really understand why Samuel L. Jackson just wants to kill this thing that killed all his men.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's sad that they're pulling out of. Fuck's sake, I say pull out every time. I swear to God.
Why do you keep making it obvious?
Pull
It's
out.
gonna be a
Pull
running
out.
theme every week now.
Yeah, I've got
Oh,
to say it
God.
every episode. But yeah, I will say like the whole thing. He's bitter that they're pulling out of Vietnam as well. So
Yeah.
he's still in the war mindset.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Because that's kind of how it starts, isn't it? With him going, he's like sad that they're gonna. He's like in his room and he's sitting there till it's dark, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh," reminiscing about the war, which is weird.
And he's like,
Oh, well.
yeah,
War.
I know you mean
What
that,
is
like,
it good for?
that. Soundbite. Yeah, I know you mean the Madison. Like when Kong turns up, I was like, I'm totally on your side because they're like that's when they're
Yeah.
like bombing everything, killing the wildlife, and I was like, oh, Kong, just fuck him
Yeah.
up, man.
Yeah,
Fuck them
and
up.
he does it so well. I loved it.
Yeah,
They're literally bombing deer. Like who's
like
that much of
out
a
of order.
monster? I mean,
out of order.
it is out of order. Yeah,
Kong's absolutely massive, isn't he, in that film?
he's
Yeah.
pretty big. Yeah.
Although
Well, he's gonna be bigger.
someone does say that. I think who was it? I'm forgetting the actor's name now.
John Goodman.
C. Riley. It's
Uh,
I think John C.
oh,
Riley
John C. Riley.
mentioned. Yeah, he
Oh,
mentioned
does
that.
he does
he's
mention
still
that he's growing still. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so because I've seen like a lot of people talk about in the trailers for Godzilla vs Kong, like, oh, why is Kong so much bigger? And I thought that was like this great mystery, and then I watched the film and was like, oh, well, that's why, because
Yeah.
they literally say he's still
been
growing.
like 50,
Yeah.
60 years.
Yeah, yeah.
I suppose it has been. Yeah, yeah. Because
Because I was reading up on it, and apparently they were portraying Kong as like this sort of petulant teenager who's had to grow up too fast because his parents were killed, and
Literally.
that's kind of how they were trying to portray him.
yeah.
that makes
which I
sense.
thought was
He
quite
is
interesting.
Batman. He is Batman.
He is Batman. Which, yeah,
Bat Kong.
he definitely is Batman. What did you think of the John C. Riley character? Because I think he should have been in it less.
Yeah, he
Really, I thought he was one of the best characters
Oh,
personally.
no, he's just annoying. Like his humor did not suit the rest of the film. I
It's really-
find.
Yeah.
I've got a soundbite of his humour.
There we
I
go.
thought it was really funny, but clearly you didn't.
Kong's god on the island. But the devils live below us.
And what are they called?
The Iwis won't speak their name. But I call them skull crawlers.
Why?
Because it sounds neat.
Just unnecessary.
Okay.
Look, I just made that name up. I'm trying to scare you.
I'm fine calling them that. Are you cool with it?
Yeah,
I've-
that seems like
I
that
like the
seems like
name,
a
so
great
I
name.
think
I've
you.
never said that name out loud before. It sounds stupid now that I say. Just you call
That
them whatever
is-
you want.
Oh, still going.
Big lizard thing.
I think it's really funny. I don't know.
That is pure Marvel humor.
It is very Marvel humour.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
it quite
exactly what I
fits.
thought.
But it's got Brie Larson in it, so
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
kind of works. And Tom Hiddleston. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh,
And John
wow,
C.
yeah.
Riley. They're all in it.
Who's John C.
I
Reilly?
don't personally
He's
think it
in
works.
Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the guy on that planet, which I've
Yeah.
forgotten the name of.
Thanos, like, he's dead now, right? Then they say like Thanos like destroyed that planet,
Xandar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Oh, did he?
or maybe he got out. Who knows?
But
I
yeah,
think-
well, they don't specify characters or anything.
No, no.
No,
But they could definitely bring him back easily.
But I really enjoyed his humour in it. I thought it was really redeeming, actually. Although I didn't hate
Yes.
the film. I thought it was really good. But
Yeah, I like the film.
yeah, yeah.
I do think it goes on a little bit too long. I kind of got to the last 40 minutes, half an hour, and was just tuning out a bit.
I would actually say it's my least favorite. I don't know what it was. It was just like maybe I think it was like the too many characters. I really liked the third act. I thought the third act was quite strong. And like
see, I enjoyed the setup more.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Setup
I think
is really good.
The too many characters really bothered me. I just couldn't get over it.
They have crammed a lot in. They've got so many big, AAA actors. It's kind of
yeah.
You mentioned Toby Kebbel earlier, who just does nothing in the film, basically.
Yeah.
But he was also playing Kong, wasn't he?
Was he?
Oh, was he? He did.
He did
Planet of the Apes, didn't he?
Planet of the Apes stuff. And I'm pretty sure he was also playing Kong, which is probably why he's in the film, but not as much as you'd expect.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, he didn't need to be in the film as a human.
No.
Just on the motion capture stuff. It's like Andy Serkis turning up in the Peter Jackson.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Brie Larson's character was pretty good. I thought she was a bit of a badass.
She was cool. She actually did stuff. Sometimes with these films you don't find they get a bit damsel in distressy. Sometimes, but it was good that she wasn't that.
I thought John Goodman's death was pretty epic. That's quite doesn't he like take a selfie essentially, and then like
the flash keeps going off for some reason.
He's trying to fix it. Obviously, he sees a reflection of the skull crawler or whatever it is, and in the camera. Picture. Yeah, that'd be amazing. They should put it in the credits or something. That'd been good.
It kept going off, didn't it? In the in the stomach, which is quite a good
did you like that? Because I thought that.
I did like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really good because it was very. It kind of reminded me a bit of Alien-ish sort of thing, where it's like the noise of it going off, ching, ching, like the radar in the Navy.
Right.
Yeah, or Aliens. Yeah, that's kind of it, really.
Yeah. So
what wasn't the favourite then?
Where does it fall in everyone's? I think it's second favourite for me.
Oh, do you want to hear Samuel L. Jackson's one of his best lines? It's good. I swear.
Men, place your charges. It's time to show Kong that man is king.
Man,
it's a pretty good one.
That's if that wasn't in the trailer.
It had to be, surely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be in the trailer.
It's King Kong.
I thought it was the funniest out of the three, definitely. I think three
definitely strived to be, yeah. It was definitely playing it a lot sillier than the other two.
Clearly, I have more basic humour than you do.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't funny. I'm just saying I don't think it quite suits it.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it does surprise me because Sam laughs at when he says pull out, so.
That's true, yeah. That's true. If they would have put that line in, if
this was above your humour, that's what it was.
They just say pull out and then stare down the camera.
Time to laugh, guys.
I can't say I'm overly attached to King Kong in just the general series of films. I think out of the two, Kong and Godzilla, I'd much rather sit and watch a Godzilla film, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I thought it was one of the best out of the three for me. I don't know. I just really enjoyed it.
I'd put it second, but it was close between that and the first one.
Really? Okay.
And
my first one was definitely the least for me. Should we talk about the first one?
Interesting. Yes, because it is actually my top.
Your top? The first one is your top?
My top.
Yeah, I think I would. I'd say the same as well, actually. I think the setup was great.
Okay.
Yeah. Are we officially on the first one now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think fuck Matt, to be honest.
I think we kind of need to talk about these two as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of they are the setup for those two characters who are going to be in the new one. So
yeah,
I think.
So why do you prefer the second one? Out of interest.
The second Godzilla film, or
yeah,
when I come to these films, it sounds really stupid, but I just want to see monsters fighting. Like, I just want to see monsters punching each other, smashing through skyscrapers, atomic beams, whatever the hell his move is. And like, I feel like in this one, I love the suspenseful setup. I think they do a great job of building that kind of suspense. But there's two moments when they cut away from the fights. I'm like, for God's sake. And then they go to like the humans. I'm like, I don't care about Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
I know, stupid. Yeah.
I actually don't mind the human characters in that first one too much.
Everyone other than Aaron Taylor-Johnson. Bryan Cranston, solid. Ken Watanabe, amazing.
There is some weird writing in it though. Like, there's a line at the start with Bryan Cranston. I'll just play it for you.
Happy birthday.
God.
What? Is it?
Yes, it is.
I forgot all about it.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Who forgets their own birthday, honestly?
So, his kid makes him like a badge, doesn't he? And he's like, oh, yeah, great. Like, was the badge related to his birthday? Or, like, what was the badge for?
It's weird. Like, how can you not know it's your birthday?
I mean,
he's that insane.
A lot of people don't care about their birthday once they get to a certain age.
But, you know, when you're born,
yeah.
You don't just forget.
True.
I love how that's your issue here.
Yeah.
It's just like there's weird character moments in it which just don't work. Like Aaron Taylor Johnson, I find it weird that he survived. He's the sole survivor of about 5 attacks. You're not that fucking lucky.
It's very convenience.
Yeah.
Based.
I feel like we had to also mention, with WandaVision being our first episode, the fact that Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson are like, husband and wife in this?
Yeah, and a year later they became brother and sister.
I couldn't get over that.
Yeah, the writing is definitely not the strong point of this film.
Oh no!
But I really like the build up for the fights.
Yeah,
and I find the fights in this one, when they do happen, are way better than what happens in the second one, which is why I prefer this one. The sense of scale you get in this film.
How do I kick you off this call?
No, I will agree. Like, the sense of scale in this especially is so well done.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, the first Muto, really well I think, the way they kind of show that as it's breaking out is pretty impressive. And my fiance at the time when we were watching it together, she just went, "Wait, it's flying? What the fuck?"
I did enjoy watching this one more the second time I watched it, strangely. I don't know if it's because I knew more about the universe that I enjoyed it more. I don't know. It was just...
Yeah, I think I can get on side with that. I didn't overly love it the first time I watched it. When was it? 2016?
Who went in the first time not knowing about Bryan Cranston, and then when he was unceremoniously offed,
his death is so rubbish as well.
It is, but if it wasn't Bryan Cranston, I don't think
that's
true.
It wouldn't. No.
Because this film, like, I remember when they were like talking about, we're going to reboot Godzilla, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then that first trailer came out, and I was like, whoa, this looks really good. And I swear they pretty much used all of like Bryan Cranston's like most epic lines.
This whole thing, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like 90% of his dialogue.
Yeah, but
I didn't even know Aaron Taylor Johnson was in it.
They did a very similar thing in Scream, though, didn't we? With Drew Barrymore. All of the trailers and everything were for her, and then within the first scene, obviously, I know it's not the same in Godzilla, but then was killed off.
That's true, but I was also 5 when that came out.
Almost drawing people in with the big actor and then going,
yeah.
Right,
that's exactly what they're doing.
Here's a B-lister.
Yeah. Have this B-lister. This is all we could afford for the whole film.
It must have been like pretty big Breaking Bad times. Weird way to say that sentence. Been Breaking Bad times.
When was it?
2014. So it was just...
Yeah, he must have
finished filming Breaking Bad, I reckon.
So they were like, capitalize on Bryan Cranston, go!
100%, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely felt like that at the time, because he was everywhere for a little while. Because he was in that Total Recall reboot as well.
Yeah, he was in the middle of everything, wasn't he?
Ken Watanabe, for me, is like, oh, man. He just, like, he sells the mythology so well in this film. Like, every time he says Godzilla, I'm like, yes! So good! Do you have a soundbite of that,
He is? No, I don't have him saying it. I have someone else saying it.
Yeah, I know which one you got.
Yeah.
The 98 version.
Yeah. So I'm just going to play it because you mentioned it now.
Yeah. This one's not as that.
What did you see, old man? Godzilla.
Crap, that one. Rubbish.
It's not as good as Ken, no.
Godzilla.
For me, Ken Watanabe, he's great. I love him in it. But he weirdly trusts strangers and people he's not seen for ages very quickly. Like, he's very trustworthy of Bryan Cranston, even though he knows nothing about him. Oh, you used to work here. Oh, I'll trust you now. Yeah. What?
Doesn't he get the readings? I thought he got some readings, and that's why he trusted him.
Like predicts the EMP, doesn't he? But I don't think you don't think you should trust someone just because of that. He's like, I'll agree to everything you say for the rest of the film, or for most of it.
Yeah, for the 5 minutes you're in it.
Yeah. And then he does the same in the last one as well, where he's like really trustworthy of Mark. I'll speak about that.
Just a nice guy, right?
About it. But yeah, he obviously like loves everyone. Clearly,
yeah, it's like you're my friend.
Yeah.
Speaking of the EMPs, so the military in these films are so, I'm trying not to swear, stupid and useless. And like I think they established pretty early on about the EMP thing.
Yeah.
And then there's like three.
I've got a soundbite if you'd like it.
Yeah, play that sound.
Oh my god,
I've got 41. Oh, love the sound.
Epic sound as well.
I got the power! Oh no! They are just idiots.
So and that's like start of the film, and then there's like I swear there's 2 more times in the film where they're like fly jets at it, fly jets. I'm like, it's gonna EMP you. Like what are you doing?
I mean, the jets falling out of the air are quite cool. That scene
cool
itself is awesome, but yeah, I fully understand your point of they know it already. Are we going to just keep doing the same thing?
You can't just keep throwing stuff at it. It's just not going to work. Yeah.
But you're right. It does make that scene when the jets fall out of the sky. It is epic. It's like one of the best scenes.
It is good. Yeah.
Maybe that was the trade-off.
I don't know why it's a surprise that they EMP because Bryan Cranston literally predicts it at the start that they do an EMP. Literally like the first scene that after when it comes back.
Yeah.
I swear. Weird. But interestingly, you know that the Admiral, he has like a phone call with, it's probably like the President, I assume. But I actually raised the audio of the phone call, and there's actually someone on the other side.
He ain't a set of fucking car keys, is he?
Yes, sir.
Oh, fuck me. Your lady friend got a voice?
Yes, warheads are on the move.
Who the fuck's talking to you, boy?
Yeah, so...
I was getting worried we were doing too many sound bites, but that one was quite funny, actually.
You can't have too many sound bites. And I made that one specially. I just watched that scene and I thought, I'm going to put something here. It's definitely not my favourite film. I think the one thing that sells it for me is definitely the sound design. I love the sound design. I think it's awesome. I think it's best, obviously, in a cinema, I would say. But they just hit the right notes for me.
Yeah, they really they've done it. Like, there's just something about that Godzilla roar, which every time you hear it, you're like, yes, good.
Yeah, the Godzilla roar. Yeah.
Oh,
whoa! He's here.
Even that bit at the end where it's like,
I know. Yeah, it's just little things like that. It's just really well. They're not. Every time he roars, it's not the same roar. It's not like when you're playing Call of Duty and they just loop the noise of the quad bike every 5 seconds.
It's like meh, meh.
I think it's phenomenal for that's one of my favorite things about the films. Is definitely the sound design. Yeah.
Have we talked much about the second one? Yeah.
No. I mean, if you want to go on to the second one, we can go on to the second one.
I think we pretty much said anything about the first one. Yeah. I prefer it to this second one.
I feel like with the second one, they got a lot of the reviews saying that they didn't have enough monsters fighting. And then they decided in the second one they were going to just take that and go, yeah, we'll do loads of scenes of them fighting.
You want monsters fighting? You're going to get it.
They're all so boring.
What?
So
no.
Yeah.
This is my favourite one. This is probably in my top 10 films of all time because the fighting is so good. Yeah.
That's getting good. Matt, you're getting too excited.
I love it. Oh, it's so good.
It's really not. I was so bored.
How are you bored? What were you watching? Are you sure you're watching the right one?
Pretty sure.
I wouldn't say it was boring. I just think
11 in it, right?
Overdid it.
11.
It's also got Charles Dance in it. Come on.
Oh yeah, Tywin Lannister's in this one.
Just making stupid decisions left and right.
It's weird. So, his character is kind of pointless. He's kind of just like a background character.
Yeah, it's crap. I hated it.
The whole film.
Disappointed.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you didn't like Mothra. You didn't like King Ghidorah.
Mothra was pretty cool. Like the creatures look good. Like it all looks fairly good, but the fights were just boring to me. And the characters that are in this one are the worst out of all three films.
I don't know.
No. First one's definitely worse.
I was most interested in these characters.
Yeah, the humans in this are great. I mean, you've got some good characters in there, I think. Like,
Millie Bobby Brown's story is pretty boring, isn't it?
No, I think it's quite interesting. I quite like their story.
No, because the mum or whatever, her
Emma.
plan.
I don't know an actor's name.
No, I can't remember. The one from The Conjuring.
Yeah, that's how I know. And the Departed.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Departed. Just, yeah, I don't really understand what she was thinking throughout the whole film, and it was just, I just thought the whole plot just existed to make this film happen.
Yeah.
And it was all, I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
Was it almost like it set up everything for Kong versus Godzilla almost? It's like, here's all the monsters now. You've got them. We'll throw some more in Kong and Godzilla. Well, I know you're going to disagree, Matt.
No, just no. I for me, it is my favourite one. I don't know. I really like the monster fighting in it. I think that's what makes it. I think that's what Godzilla was missing, because there wasn't enough of it in Godzilla for me. Like, you kind of, in Godzilla, you kind of, at the start when they're fighting, you kind of just see it on like TV screens and whatnot. Which kind of I just want to watch these monsters fight.
Yeah.
And this wasn't happening.
I think in the first Godzilla, like they've done plenty of build up to that point. It's like Hawaii airport, isn't it, I think?
Yeah.
And when he shows up, you're like, oh, here we go. And then it cuts to the news report. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
I know,
like a 19-inch screen.
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
A 19-inch screen on a 50-inch screen, yeah.
And then it gets to like the city, and like they're about to fight then, and then like these doors close, and then it cuts to like the skydiving scene, and yeah, it's all pretty, I know, but it's just like, for God's sake, show me monsters punching each other. That's all I want.
The one thing I will say is that Legendary Pictures know how to reveal a monster. The reveals are so good. Yeah.
The Ghidorah one's pretty cool.
Ghidorah one's so good.
The wide shot of him and Godzilla. And whoa,
he's massive compared to Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. I gotta do a soundbite for Ghidorah's roar, because I mean, you gotta hear it. Heard all the rest.
Phil Anderson's in the way. It's coming through. That's very cool.
So good.
That is good.
So good.
That's a tasty one.
That is phenomenal. I love it.
Yeah, I do envy that you saw this in the cinema, Matt.
Oh, that's another thing as well. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, actually, because I almost forgot. But because I saw this, I think I saw it in IMAX as well, which made it like so much better. The sound design in the cinema was just so well done, and just hearing the roars and like all the smashing and everything, it was just, that made it like, I think that probably made the film like a lot better for me. It was good watching it on the television, but it's just not the same.
Like full on cinema.
It was full on cinema surround sound. I was like,
it's gonna be pretty epic.
Yeah. So I would like to, if we're back to normality, or even any remnants of it by the time Godzilla versus Kong comes out, I'd like to see that in the cinema, because of the sound design. It's just going to be great.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know how Godzilla versus Kong is going to be as good as this film, because I don't think Kong's that as interesting as Ghidorah.
I am interested to see, because in Kong Skull Island, he gets shot with like, the machine guns from the helicopter, and gets quite badly injured, right?
He does, yeah. I think he gets cut by one of the blades, doesn't he?
Yeah, and like when they do that stuff to Godzilla, like firing missiles at him, it's just nothing. Yeah. So I'm interested to see. Obviously, like was established earlier, he grows up. Does he like get tougher? Because like I don't know.
I guarantee they won't address it.
Probably not. Probably not. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Also, Godzilla has a laser breath.
That
King Kong doesn't have a laser.
I want this film to be a direct remake of Batman v Superman. Because you've got the one with the laser, you've got the one that can use tools, and they've both got a mate called Mothra/Martha.
That's a very good point.
Very similar, weirdly.
Why'd you say that name?
Which is older.
I want it to be direct remake.
Tell me, do you please?
Who'd be Lex Luthor?
Yeah, he would be Lex Luthor. He's the craziest monster.
Maybe that's Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor wears a robot suit sometimes, right?
He does, yeah.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Connections.
One thing I want to mention before we move on to Godzilla vs. Kong is, I don't know if you watched the after credits scene in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, but there's actually a scene where Charles Dance's character, whose name I've forgotten.
Tywin Lannister.
Tywin Lannister, of course, is. Yeah. He's just that in every, show.
Yeah.
Film, whatever. Anyway,
I know what you mean.
he comes across someone selling Titan parts, essentially, or like their DNA, and they find Ghidorah's head that got severed earlier on in the film.
Oh my god!
I know. So
I don't see this at all.
I know it's actually like a fairly good setup. I think like it kind of makes me think potentially Godzilla and King Kong might have to team up to fight Ghidorah.
Oh, they're definitely going to team up.
Well, I think it's going to be Batman v
really
Superman.
Don't want them to.
There was another post credit that we didn't. I don't think we got. It's Mothra. Mothra is essentially going to come back as well. I think.
Yeah, that's right.
They found an egg, didn't they?
They found an egg of Mothra.
Did you say that name? The director has stated that there will be a definitive winner.
I really hope so. He's probably like
he wanted to avoid that thing, but how much they'll actually stick to that, who knows?
Yeah, or it's going to be like
either of them.
Well, technically, it's Mecha Godzilla. Yeah.
Who do you reckon's going to win?
Kong.
Because we all know who it should be.
It's got to be Godzilla, right? Although King Kong's got longer arms.
That's
it. That's what wins it.
King Kong's got a mean punch.
Holds him at his head. Come on then, mate. Go on then.
That one shot in the trailer where he punches Godzilla is awesome.
That is epic. That's what I'm here for. I'm like, yes, punch him.
Monster fighting, yeah.
Get my popcorn out. Oh, that's yeah.
I'm going to quickly segue off the back of that because I watched the original King Kong vs Godzilla, the 1962 one.
Wow.
And that one is left with Godzilla swimming away and Kong being fine. So they kind of intentionally left it kind of open-ended, and it's almost like it's gone like that throughout. So that was the third Toho film in the series, and there is in the kind of Godzilla timeline there's 32 Japanese films
in the same timeline.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you get like Mothra, Mecha Godzilla, King Ghidorah, like all of everyone, and then you've also got
some people in suits.
You've also got the 3 or 4 American ones that kind of fit that timeline as well. So then you've got 35 across the board.
Wow,
oh my god,
that's
incredible. How many Bond films are there?
25-ish.
Yeah.
Wow, that outdoes Bond. Jesus Christ.
I imagine the budget is less.
Maybe not on the American ones.
I couldn't comment because I've not seen them.
Because that's where the giant octopus first turns up in the King Kong vs Godzilla 1962 version, and there's like this magical berry on this island that they're all eating. That's what makes them so massive. But
right.
the kind of special effects of the time, I think they did a pretty good job actually considering. But you can tell it's a small toy set essentially, and then they've got just like a big figure running through it. And I think King Kong pretty much is a guy in an ape suit. So that's good.
Yeah. It's one of the things
funny.
where you have to like appreciate it, don't you, for its time, but it's still funny though.
it kind of stands up. I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite funny. And I then watched as well. I watched Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
The film that came out in 2016. That's kind of the most recent Toho Godzilla film.
So is that a reboot?
Yeah, so it's essentially a soft reboot of the 1954 original.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's got the kind of boardroom Godzilla formula.
Yeah.
And he comes out of the water in like a kind of almost like amphibious state. And I sent the GIF into the group chat. If anyone wants to obviously look it up, Google Shin Godzilla, and you'll see how hilarious he looks with these fishy eyes that he's got.
It's giving me nightmares.
He goes from there into like 8 different stages until he becomes this absolute unit. towards the end. I think he sits as the biggest one across the series.
It's like a Pokemon.
Wow, what, even bigger than the evolution? Even bigger than the most recent US ones.
Yeah, even bigger than that. He's absolutely massive.
Yeah, so speaking of that one, so I was listening to a Kevin Smith podcast earlier today, and they were talking about the Shin Godzilla one, and they were saying, like, I don't know if you agree, Mark, that the human stuff in that, they said it kind of like it kind of serves more of a purpose because it's all about like the failure of like bureaucracy.
Yeah, so you get a lot of the boardroom scenes, and it's the president and everyone else kind of involved in the process, and you have a situation where they're going to shoot a missile at Godzilla and they don't, because you've got some civilians walking around, and it's kind of showing the human aspect. I think I would have appreciated it more because I rented it off of Apple, and I also looked it up on Amazon, and it turns out both of those streaming services only had the American dub as opposed to subtitles. I absolutely hate dubs, and I think it was so campy.
Yeah,
me and my partner the whole time were like, we actually can't take it serious. So when you first see Godzilla, he looks so ridiculous. You're like, what the hell is this film?
Is his raw dubs? It's like, yeah,
righteous.
But you don't really see Shin Godzilla that much on screen. It is more just the kind of human aspect. And I think you might be a stretch, but when there's a scene where kind of the harbour's overflowing and there's water running down the streets of Japan, and it kind of gave me 2011 tsunami vibe almost. It's almost like a reflection on their society, and they also talk about dropping a nuke on him, and then they're like, "Well, we're not going to do that again."
Wow, so that's what I'm interested in watching like the Japanese ones, because obviously it's all like a term like allegory for like nuclear weapons.
Yeah, it very much plays on the Nagasaki, Hiroshima disasters had in their country,
which I think is there was a bit more of that kind of depth to the human side in these Hollywood ones. Maybe
it's more sincere, definitely.
Yeah.
But if you're going to pick it up, I'd definitely recommend get it on Blu-ray or DVD, and don't get it off the streaming services, because the dub is just appalling.
Has anyone got anything to add that they want to mention?
No, I'm happy to talk about the trailer.
Okay, let's go. Yeah. Go for it.
So, what do we think the baddie in this actually is, as opposed to it being Kong? Because they keep saying it doesn't seem like him.
It's going to be Mecha Godzilla from everything I've seen or heard.
I saw a theory that in some of the films there is like a second Godzilla, and possibly that's who this one is.
Okay. Oh, so what? So the first film and the third film are technically different Godzillas. So is that what you mean?
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, I think.
And then you'll have the real one come back in.
Yeah. Hence why, like, this one's like, I think they mentioned in the trailer that he's hurting people, and he's gone insane. But like, I
really hope they don't do that, because that does feel like it's going against the whole title of the film, because it's not Godzilla.
Yeah, exactly.
I would kind of just be doing it for the sake of it. Just go, let's stick another Godzilla in it, just so we can make. So it's the multiverse talk again, like from last time. Convenience. Yeah. It's like the art of convenience.
I would really respect the film, like we were saying earlier, if they do stick to the whole thing. Like, there's not going to be a third bad guy, and they have to team up. Like, it probably is going to happen. Like we said,
I think it's got to. They're setting it up.
Yeah, I think it very much is. There's about 5 seconds in, you can kind of see where the people are running down the stairs. That you've got. It doesn't look like Godzilla. It looks like a metallic with like red flashing lights on it almost.
So I thought that was who was it? Rodan? Is it? It looked. It reminded me of the volcano scene in King of Monsters, but I don't know why they would bring back Rodan. I don't know. What.
I'd be inclined to agree with you if I didn't slow mo it. I watched it at half speed, and it just looks like Mecha Godzilla.
Frame
by frame. And then 1 minute 42 in, there's like a system kind of like battery charge in the background, and the thing behind the charging system is a Mecha Godzilla as well.
Yeah, it looks like one at the very least.
Oh yeah, I just looked at that shot at the start. For them coming down the stairs, that's definitely some robot thing. Yeah.
So does anyone know like what's the story behind Mecha Godzilla? Is it like the humans make this to fight Godzilla, or what's like the whole?
Sometimes it's aliens,
Oh really? Oh my god! Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess Ghidorah.
something like that, or he's like alien made.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
right.
you have a space Godzilla in the Toho versions. You've got like a Mecha Godzilla one film, and then like 2 years later they put out a space Godzilla.
He
I love
has
it.
been human made in the past, though.
Yeah,
I imagine
I'm
that's
pretty
the
sure
route
he
they'd
has.
go.
Yeah. But my what I was saying earlier with Ghidorah, what if they're making him Mecha? So it'd be Mecha
Yeah,
Ghidorah.
That's got
And that's actually Mecha Ghidorah at the start there.
Do you not
Maybe.
feel it has the potential to really off-put audiences that aren't necessarily invested? Because it is quite a big world, isn't it? Because you've got a lot of there's a lot of comics, there's a lot of films.
I feel like you only need to watch the films though to get them. I don't think you need to know anything else about them because
Yeah,
I
you
don't really
don't
know
need to know
that much
anything
about
else.
the other ones.
They are so clearly their own thing at this point.
Yeah, which is what I quite like about them. They're quite like they're like a neat little package. Wow.
Because I've
that
not
neat, but-
watched anything or read anything other than these films.
Yeah, yeah.
All the Americanized ones.
Yeah.
So the 98.
So I've got no idea.
They are. I do like in the trailer. They're like some of the shots already are looking quite epic. Like I love the bit when Kong seems to have like an axe or something, and it's just like flying at Godzilla.
He's doing his Thor impression.
Yeah, pretty much. It is like
Pretty much, yeah.
the Thor Thanos shot, isn't it?
Have you noticed what that potentially is? The axe.
Is that one of Godzilla's spikes?
Yeah, it does look like a dorsal plate, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does,
Which
doesn't
makes
it?
sense
Yeah.
why it can like absorb the hit, because like that's kind of what charges up to the blast,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So would it hurt him when he hit it with it? Can he hurt himself?
I wouldn't want to be hit with it.
He's doing the Incredibles method.
Use my powers against me.
Like, why isn't Godzilla aiming at King Kong when he does it though? He's just aiming at the axe. He's missed a trick there.
I think you're right though, Addison. I do think like we were joking about him being like Batman. I do think that's going to be his advantage, is that he can build tools and stuff.
Oh yeah, it definitely seems that they're going that way, especially with the axe.
Yeah, it's going to make like the Kongmobile, Kong Jet, other Batman things. That are not
I just want that film.
Maybe Mecha Godzilla is like an Iron Man suit.
Maybe he makes Mecha Godzilla. No, that's way too advanced for Kong.
Oh, maybe he could fight Godzilla as Mecha Godzilla.
I love the idea of King Kong making a robot.
He's pretty good with tools. I've seen.
That's like advanced.
It goes from axe to robot.
I love his flail in this film in Skull Island that he makes at the end with the propeller blade.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What do you
Yeah.
think the whole in the trailer they showed the I think she's one of like the indigenous people on the island, like the little girl.
Oh yeah.
Like what do you,
There
what's
seems
she
to be a
about?
theme, doesn't there, with Kong and kind of a female. Generally, it's kind of an older blonde lady, but there's some sort of connection, but human connection, isn't there? Always in
Yeah.
every single Kong.
Probably just one of those things that was in the original film, so now that's his thing.
I think that's probably what it is. It's just a throwback, isn't it? Like a callback. It's like the
He's
thing
just
where
got
he's in
connection,
chains in
just-
Skull
yeah.
Island is like a throwback to like when he's in chains in the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's because that shot made me think like I imagine they get the girl to probably convince Kong to go onto the ship, but
Yeah, because she's on the ship, isn't she? Yeah.
oh, is she? Yeah, there is
Yeah.
a shot. Yeah, because I was like, why is he just sitting there in chains? Like that doesn't feel very Kong. But
No.
the girl
Because
must
it parallels, doesn't it? The kind of when he was taken to New York to be paraded.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Why would you do that? Why would you bring him to New York? Why would you bring him to a massive city? Clearly, it's going to be something go wrong.
New York, New York.
How far into the film do you reckon they're going to wait to get Kong
Hope it's not too long.
Well, they reveal him straight away on Skull Island, don't they?
in the trailer?
So I'm hoping they just reveal him straight away.
Well,
I think Kong's going to be. I think it's going to be mainly about Kong. I think
Okay.
Godzilla's going to appear later on by the look of the trailer.
Do you? I think the opposite.
Yeah.
I think
I think it's going to start with Godzilla fucking shit up.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
coming
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
the ocean.
and then they get Kong to come in to help because he's another Titan that they realise is powerful enough to help.
That's true.
Yeah.
One that has some intelligence comparatively.
Because there is the shot on Skull Island when Kong seems to be fighting. I don't think it's the skull crawlers or whatever they call it. It's like some beast with like wings. I don't know what the hell they are, but I imagine like you said, Godzilla probably f's I was about to say F shit up, so I was going to mute one of my swear words.
You censored yourself, but didn't.
He F shit up, man.
I believe they're the Psycho Vultures, I think they're called.
Ah, okay. So yeah,
Is this in Skull Island, the film, or was it in the trailer?
In the trailer, where I think he's on Skull Island when he's smashing them up.
Yeah.
I reckon that's the first scene we see of Kong. And then they're like, come and help us.
Do you think it's like a thorn in the lion's paw sort of thing, where Godzilla's just got he's just stood in a building and he's just got a building stuck in his foot? So
They mention that in the Skull Island film, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah, when they're walking through that bamboo woods.
Oh, really?
That's weird. That's freaky, that scene. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. With the
bamboo spidery thing.
Bamboo spider, yeah.
Yeah.
Great scene.
That is a great scene, yeah.
It looks like in this as well, they in the trailer, I noticed that there's a few new kind of human characters. Do you think there's going to be a human villain in this one?
I hope not.
It's kind of set up that it's going to be Charles Dance, because...
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Making stupid decisions again.
Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe he rebuilds the Orca or something from the third film, and he's controlling Godzilla.
Well, if it's a Mecha Godzilla, it might be the Apex are in control of it, and they're trying to. Who knows? Actually, they're trying to draw out the Titans again, or
yeah.
I'm glad they call them the Titans now, as opposed to was it the Mutos or the first one they had?
Yeah, that was
the
an
Mutos,
abbreviation.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Who do you want to win?
See, I don't think there needs to be a winner in it. I know it's a bit of a cop out, and they've done it every single time they've fought each other.
Yeah,
but does it really? Do you need right now Kong's won, or now Godzilla's won? Because I think at that point the film stops. Surely.
Yeah, I like both the characters. I think they're both great. Godzilla.
But would you want to watch
Kong's
the loser?
awesome.
If Kong wins, you're like, I'm done with Godzilla now. I'm going to follow Kong from now on.
I honestly don't know how Kong could win, but
it does feel like the underdog story with Kong.
Yeah,
which is why he will win.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
exactly. Yeah,
maybe that's what it's going to be. Yeah,
it's like Rocky versus Apollo.
Yeah. I don't really. I definitely don't care enough to pick one over the other, but I do think that Kong will win.
I prefer Godzilla. I think Godzilla's cooler, but I just feel like Kong was gonna. If there is gonna be a definitive winner, as the director said, I think they're gonna set it up for Kong to win. Well,
yeah,
it definitely should be Godzilla.
Yeah.
Or will it be that man wins and they rid them?
Man is king.
Man is king. Like Samuel Jackson, Mecha Samuel Jackson. I did
He's just a little bit shorter now after getting squished.
Yeah.
I'm fed up with these motherfucking Titans on this motherfucking planet. Essentially, what you really want is you want a Royal Rumble of just all the characters.
Yeah,
just
pretty much.
Smashing it out for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That sounds really dodgy when I said that.
Smashing it out, yeah.
That's the film I want.
Yes, that's the film I want.
Be Monster Mania 4. Let's go. Who's going to win this time? I think it cures the same itch, doesn't it, as the Jurassic Park franchise. For me personally, I think
now those I have a soft spot for. Those I love.
Well, the new ones?
Even the new ones.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I absolutely love Jurassic.
I also have a very controversial opinion here, and I know that my brother will back me up. Jurassic Park 3 is better than 2.
Yeah, you can fuck off.
Is that the one where they're going around the sea?
That's the one with the Spinosaurus as well.
That's 2.
The one with the Alan.
Yeah, that's 3.
The dream.
I really can't remember them that well, to be honest.
No. I just love the bit when the kid's in the second one where he's in his house and he goes to his window and he's like, "Mummy, there's a dinosaur on my window."
Oh, yeah.
And he's just munching the dog.
That second one goes on far too long, and it is because of the San Diego bit.
Yeah, that bit is,
Okay, so what I've taken notes of is that Addison needs a film that's under an hour, and he'll be happy.
That film is like 2 hours
I
long.
think you just need to watch TV.
Nah, because never finished series.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I know you mean though. I'm not hugely attached to these films. I had only seen the first Godzilla before we kind of decided this was going to be our subject. I'm glad I watched them. I'm glad I finally got around to this. Kind of made me watch them, and now I am a bit more pumped for Godzilla versus Kong. But I don't know. I'm not I love these films. They're very they're great popcorn entertainment, and that's kind
I think they're very watchable. Yeah, I was going to say they're very watchable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the same boat as you, Sam. Like, they're fine. They're fun for the most part. But
every time Godzilla roars, I get the tingles. Kong, not so
Gets
much.
the tingles in his pants.
I got a boner.
Oh God.
Keep it in, Matt. Keep it in.
You got to keep it in.
Godzilla.
Oh, so cool. We've got to do the competition.
Oh yeah. What you had a competition for us, Mark? What was it?
Who can do the best Godzilla noise?
Not me.
Addison, you go first.
Yeah.
Set a low bar for us.
Sorry, I can't believe I'm asking this, but can I just hear it once?
What it actually sounds like, or what we think it sounds like?
What it actually sounds like.
Right, here we go.
Yep. I definitely can't fucking do this.
If you just like smash it in the first go. Here we go.
Okay, yeah.
Not bad.
Okay. Chickenzilla, got it?
Right, Sam, go.
Alright, okay, hold on, let's get the character, so... Oh my god, King of the
Someone's
Monsters.
just blown your house up.
Where's it with you in it?
Jesus.
I think I just peaked my audio there, Matt, so I don't know what you can do there.
Okay.
I'll do one more.
Go, sure.
I'm further away from the mic. Smashed it.
Oh no. The problem is going third. I've got performance anxiety now.
God.
Let me just.
Hello?
Are you still there?
I'll blow the speakers out.
Are you doing it?
This is like,
Could
it's like
you
the
not hear
suspense in
me?
the first film.
No, couldn't hear you.
Did
Come
it
on,
not
get
come
to the
out?
monster fight in. Wait, did you do it?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. Alright, no, you're lying.
Do it again. It's the biggest build-up I've ever seen.
I think only dogs can hear you.
I did it and then it didn't come through.
Do a quiet version.
Isn't genuinely not coming through?
No.
You just do it
We
again.
haven't heard you make any noise.
When I send you the recording, it's going to be hilarious.
Just put in the actual noise.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus
actual
Christ,
noise.
Mark. That's amazing.
Right, is it my turn?
Yeah, go on then.
Right, I'm going to get up and go to the back of the room.
Neighbour's gonna hate you. Yeah, you're gonna
That's the end of it. What was that?
With a bark. We should get a survey out on this to see who did the best.
I've sent the noise. I've sent the clip to you.
Amazing. Right, so I'm just going to play out my phone.
It's a pretty good one.
Pretty good, yeah. I like that you put like the rat into it.
Yeah.
Bit of aggression.
I think that's a perfect end, to be honest. If you've got this far, well done. Have a cookie, you've done it. If you're subscribed, why don't you treat yourself to KFC? And if you're not subscribed, treat yourself to a basic ready meal. After you finish that though, subscribe. Anyway, thank you for listening. Soon we'll have even more mind-numbing content for you to consume. And that's the Tepid Take.